As promised back in 2013, Ben Simmons attended LSU for college as his recruitment class's most sought-after player. And when he arrived at Baton Rouge, it was as if he was an instant celebrity there, as LSU began to build a hype that centered on his all-around skills as a future NBA star. He even garnered the attention of Shaquille O'Neal, who himself is a product of LSU. When the season started, Ben Simmons showed why he was truly deserving of all the attention and hype he was getting. In his first game for LSU on November 13, 2015, Simmons had 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists in a win over McNeese State. He followed that performance up with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists 3 days later against Kennesaw State. He then finished a 3-0 start for LSU with a monster performance against South Alabama, against whom he had 23 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Ben Simmons was then exposed to the entire nation as one of basketball's brightest young stars. In a nationally televised game against Marquette on November 23rd, Ben Simmons finished with a phenomenal performance of 23 points, 20 rebounds, and 7 assists. Although it came at a loss, there was no doubt in anyone's mind that Ben Simmons truly was a talented young prospect. On December 2nd, he went for another monstrous performance. In that win over North Florida, Ben Simmons finished with 43 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. He was not only filling the stat sheets, but he also made history as the first player from LSU to score that many points since Shaquille O'Neal had 43 back in December of 1991. Ben Simmons continued his rampage over the competition. On December 19th, in a win over Oral Reports, he had 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. He followed that up with a win over the American Eagles with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And on January 2nd, 2016, he finished a win over Vanderbilt with 36 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. On January 5th, in a win over consistent collegiate giants Kentucky, Ben Simmons finished with 14 points and 10 rebounds. He performed so well in that game that the great Magic Johnson, a player he was often compared to, said that Simmons was already the best all-around basketball player since LeBron James. Johnson also went on to say that whoever picked Simmons in the upcoming draft would have a player that could immediately make an impact. Whether or not Magic Johnson was exaggerating due to his excitement, he was making a valid point by saying that Ben Simmons was almost as good of an all-around player as LeBron was when he came to the NBA fresh out of high school. After all, at 6'10" and 230 pounds, Ben Simmons had the size of a prototypical power forward. However, the way he played basketball on the floor made him look like an oversized point guard because of how well he could control the tempo of the game as the primary playmaker for LSU. Following that win against Kentucky, Ben Simmons finished a loss to Florida with 28 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 assists. On January 23rd, he then had 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in a win over Alabama. He continued his rampage and posted 8 more double-double performances in LSU's next 11 games before the conference tournament. Coming into the SEC tournament with a record of 18-13, LSU was the 4th seed and were not in the best shape to come out with the conference championship. In the first game of the tournament for LSU, Simmons had 15 points and 8 rebounds in a win over Tennessee. However, a day later, he struggled from the field against Texas A&M. Simmons shot 4 out of 11 from the field and finished with only 10 points in that loss. After that loss, LSU failed to earn a bid for the NCAA tournament as Ben Simmons' college career abruptly came to an end. He finished his first and only season with LSU, averaging 19.2 points, 11.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 2 steals. He led his team in all major statistical categories and was practically a one-man show for LSU. Shortly after the season ended for LSU, Ben Simmons officially put an end to his stint as an LSU Tiger after declaring for the 2016 NBA Draft.